My father always used to talk about Jewish community in Jerusalem, in how they are put there by God to protect the human rights value based on 10 commands and based on the whole Jewish tradition. And how important it is for the whole Christian community to stand behind, protect and support the Jewish society, because that's a way of protect the whole human life on this earth.
The story of Stefan and his boat Elida begins with an article I read about a Swedish captain planning to sail to Israel. Stefan's father, Lennart, a sailor himself, chose one day to drop drinking in favor of his service to God and human beings. His son decided to follow his father's steps on the ultimate journey to the Holy Land. Here is where my own story begins. In the sea, heading towards the Elida, to meet the friendliest bunch of Swedes I've ever come across, and certainly the most interesting.
My name is Bertil. I'm from Sweden. I have been here on this boat many years ago as a crew, but now I'm just as a normal passenger. We want to come to Israel to bless the country, but also to recognize the many Christians who are persecuted for their faith in the Middle East region. So I wish the best to Israel and God's blessing upon the country.
As we sailed across the ocean, I learned about some new Scandinavian traditions which I had never heard of before. One of them was jumping into the sea mid-sail, and the other was the fika, an obligatory coffee break to take time to pause and reflect on the day.
I'm Anders Sjöberg from Sweden, but I work as a tour leader half of the year in Israel. This last spring I took around 300 people from Sweden down to Israel, and it's really important for me to show people in Sweden the real situation in Israel, how Israel is the only democracy in that part of the world. So I'm really glad to have the opportunity to be part of this journey, this sea journey.
It's an honor for us this beautiful Wednesday morning to put up the Israeli flag, and as a sign for human rights and for democracy to the Middle East. We put up this flag because of the Jewish population in this earth has to protect the value of the 10 Commandments.
Stefan's kids enjoy schooling many children are dreaming. A life at sea with lessons below deck and time to take in life's most important interactions.
Ungefär. Ni är välkomna att ta upp tidigt, annars kan ni få slösa en stund till.
As we sailed into the night and its song, a fellow sailor pointed to the sky and reminded me of God's blessing to Abraham. I will bless you and make you as numerous as the stars.
God morgon.
I'm Christine Seidal and I am from Halmstad in Sweden and I'm a sailing trainee on this ship. I read an article in a paper in Sweden about this trip and I thought it would be marvelous to join. Elida is a ship of evangelization in Sweden. She is sailing along the coast and meeting people, talking to people, singing to people. I love Israel. I have been there twice before, traveling around and been in Jerusalem twice. It's amazing. I love it.
With Israeli territory in sight, Stefan gathered his friends and crew for a special prayer.
My name is Martin Skåring and I am a vicar in a Swedish church. I have been on this boat for 7 years now. We have many times talked about to make a journey to Israel and finally Stefan decided to make this journey. I wanted to be with on this trip because I love Israel and I feel a very strong connection to the Jewish people. We read the same Bible and we pray to the same God.
My name is Nils-Åke Persson and I'm from Stockholm. I'm 8 years old and I'm a retired surgeon. After my retirement I worked 3 more years and after that I've been on Elida. I've been here once before. I felt like I was in the center of the world somehow. I was in the middle of the world, and it was a home feeling.
All my life, entire life, I felt that one day I have to sail to Israel. And now we are here.
Over 70 boats came out to greet us. We could not have thought of a better welcome.
When I was a young man, my father gave me a book about Ben Gurion, and he started to plant the seed and the love for Israel. I can see Israel as a light shining with democracy, solidarity, and open community. And we want to inspire you to continue to do that.
Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, whoa, mamma mia, here I go again. I can't resist you, mamma mia. Just a again. My, just how much I miss you. Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. Why, did I ever let you go? Mamma mia,
My name is Olivia and I'm the first officer on board at Elida 5, and now we are going to Israel, and in some hours we are arrival to the port, and I'm very happy to be one of the crew members and one in this team that want to show our solidarity to Israel and show that Sweden loves Israel. People in Sweden loves Israel, and sometimes the news and people and political in Sweden don't show the love and don't love Israel, so we want to show another way, another perspective.
I could only have imagined what Old Man Abramson would have thought as we approached Israeli port.
Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem.
You know, normally I say ladies and gentlemen, but tonight I say my dear friends, sisters and brothers, it's nice to be here. You know, I talk in behalf of the Swedish ambassador now. We are very sorry that Sweden have a bad reputation here in Israel. In the last couple of years, my heart was broken that my country, with a beautiful flag and a wonderful story, are a land who condemned the only democracy in Middle East. And it's hurt my heart so deeply. So we was a group of people say we have to do something. We come here for reconciliation. We come here because we really like to say to you, we love you. Israel is a country who are a lighthouse of democracy, of human rights in a very dark area of the world. And we are many Swedish people who want to say, we like to support you. We want to stand behind all what you fight for, when you fight for democracy and human rights. And for sure, there is no Christianity without Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. And ladies and gentlemen, my father, he taught me when I was a young boy. He said to me, Stefan, to the end of the day of this world, there should be a Jewish community on this earth. Otherwise, the world are going down. So, my father say, don't do anything else than to support them, help them, and encourage them to stand for the Jewish values in this earth. May God bless you.
And thus ends the story of Stefan and his Swedish friends. In a world where these things can sometimes be forgotten, a glimmer of peace and hope can be enough to turn the tide.